captaincy has already been done from the dugout anyway. So it is the media only who peddles the star culture. Everyone, even I like kadhi. We don't go around and put it on X that I hate kadhi chawal today. But they were the same people who even enjoyed that star culture before. They don't like it now happening.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah.
want puri sabji, but he
Yeah.
opted for kadhi chawal.
Hello and welcome again to the Boundary Line. Today we are going to talk about the third T20I, for why we lost it, and we are building up for the fourth T20I in Pune. So we are talking about that. We also are talking about the media and superstar culture and the circus going around Virat Kohli back in Delhi and what he ate, had for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. That's all the news which are going around circuit. And also we'll talk about some other Ranji news. So without wasting much time, let's start. This is the match that we did not review, so we'll review it now. India fielded first and England posted a score of 171, which was too much for India. So India lost it by 26 runs. We all know what happened in that match, but what do you guys think? Where did we lose that match, Jinanj?
Yeah, I mean, those last, like when you were at, I think, 127 for 8 wickets when England were, those last 50 runs, 46, 50 runs, which came in the end, that hurted India a bit. And secondly, the wrong team combination, like Washington Sundar coming above ahead of a Dhruv Jurel. Like, if you want to use a player like Washington Sundar above, then why have Dhruv Jurel in your team? Like those kind of tactical errors were there. You were one pacer short. You should have got a pacer more, which could have, like, England were able to use the spinners much better. I mean, the pacers much better as well compared to our pacers. Shami, I'm not sure if he's really fit. His pace, the speed I was watching the match, like it didn't, like it was around 128, 130 speed. That's all,
Mm,
not going above that speed. So again, Shami is also, I mean, the performance wise, Shami will also be doubtful for the upcoming matches if he's going to play. Furthermore, like his pace is also concerning. Rest all, like Hardik Pandya was also slow in playing. I'm not sure why not hit aggressively. Why take the game deep? I'm not sure why.
yeah.
Like every time you take the game deep, it doesn't help you. You
Mm,
have to you have to play much aggressively like you used to play before.
yeah.
So yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I think Hardik Pandya tried to be a Dhoni but did not be a Hardik as well. So yeah, Varun Chakravarti did chip in with 5 wicket haul in that match, and that was super bowling. I don't think India lacked in bowling. Yes, they gave away like 45 runs at the end while they were 8 down. 1 over was of Ravi Bishnoi was taken a lot by Liam Livingston, and then of the last partnership added 20-25 more. But still, this was a below par score as compared to the other matches at Rajkot. And the pitch looked fine in the first innings, but the way India batted it, they made it look like, I don't know, if the pitch was too paced in the second innings, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it that didn't look like that bad of a wicket. What do you think about it, Weber?
First of all, I think when we discussed about the pre-match, we said that it would be better if they chose to bat first. After winning the toss, they should have, opted to bat and not field.
Yeah.
That's where the first mistake was done. Uh, Later on, even though the spin took off very well, like our pacers didn't contribute much to the wickets, and I felt that pacers could have done a bit more, especially given the way the English side wasn't doing so great, and
Mm,
you had most of the players out.
yeah.
The ones that usually perform were already gone.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a concern. Really, like good job by Varun Chakravarti. He's like proving that he's proving he's done justice to why he was picked.
Yeah.
And I felt that Arshdeep could have also been in the side,
Mm-hmm.
maybe dropped somebody else and picked up Arshdeep instead.
Yeah.
But just given the form of Arshdeep, nothing else.
Yeah.
In the second half, once again, uh, I believe a few videos ago I had mentioned when we were discussing like before the T20 started does the middle order look too reliant on Hardik Pandya?
Mm,
And yes, if the top order collapsed, then we saw what happened. everything sort of sedimented on Hardik Pandya, and he was the only one carrying the game.
Yeah.
And uh, it, like, does he need support? Definitely. Was sending Washington Sundar above Dhruv Jurel wrong? I feel Dhruv Jurel could have, you know, played a better game in that situation. So probably those are the things that led to the loss.
Yeah.
But overall, we are still leading the series. Hopefully, we win the game tomorrow as well.
Yeah, so that's the next talking point about tomorrow's match or rather today's match in Pune. So the average first inning scores in Pune is 166, and it is considered to be a batting wicket. Most of the teams, or rather all the teams in international cricket, has chosen to field. So I won't be surprised if India win the toss and choose to field again, because India has played 4 matches and won two, lost two, and the two wins are against Sri Lanka and England. And India, I mean, the team who has won the toss has always chosen to field first. I think the teams playing in subcontinent conditions know that there have been batting pitches in subcontinent conditions, so they go for the chase so that they have that upper hand. That even if you know the pitch is not as great, but you know the score, what you need to achieve. So that's why maybe that's a given combination that they're going, yeah, we win the toss and choose to field. But the big news which are making rounds are Rinku Singh is fit and back. Ryan Tendeskate made said this in the press conference that Rinku Singh is fit and he's ready to be back in the fourth T20I. So hopefully he comes in. Who he will come in for, I feel it should be Dhruv Jurel, because they did not use him correctly in the last match. So if it is a role of playing at the eight, number 6, 7, or 8, I think it should be Rinku Singh who should do it, and not Dhruv Jurel. Shivam Dube has joined the squad after his campaign with the Mumbai Ranji team, and it won't be a surprise if he comes and walks into the team in the 11, knowing that maybe a Ravi Bishnoi has gone for a lot of runs in these 3 matches. And England, he's the only bowler I would say that England has picked clearly well, because his stock delivery, he's a leg spinner, but his stock delivery is a googly. So anything which is going to be there in 6 balls, I guess 4 are going to come in to you if you're a right-handed batter, and maybe one or two. Even in that, one is a flipper and the other one is a leg spinner. So it is quite predictable for for a bowler to be having stock delivery as a googly, which just comes in. So maybe that's why England has just picked the bones out of his bowling. So maybe a Ravi Bishnoi can go out. Maybe a Washington Sundar can go out, because we have a lot of spin combinations in there. So that's something which we need to discuss today. Maybe a Ramandeep can get a game, because he has been in the wings, and he has showed some promise as well in the past. Also, we are talking about if Surya's batting is a concern. The last time he played in Pune, he had a 50 in this ground. He and Akshar Patel added a 90-run partnership to a sixth wicket. Still, we lost the match to Sri Lanka, but it was a good knock. Maybe he might come into form, because his form is quite crucial for India, because he bats at that crucial order of 3 or 4, and he's also the captain leading from the front. So his form is another concern. And as we saw, Shami did not look as great as he did in the 2023 World Cup. Is it too early to judge? What do you think about all these points, Vaibhav?
So first off, tomorrow it's the matches in Pune. A spin-heavy side would always be a better one.
Hmm.
So I'd probably maybe drop Ravi Bishnoi and probably take Ramandeep or Shivam Dube. I definitely go for Shivam Dube just because he's had a very good season in SMAT, not such a good one with Vijay Hazare. And not just that, he was playing most of his matches in Mumbai and Pune. So
Yeah.
probably a Shivam Dube would be useful in these conditions.
Mm.
Rinku Singh is fit, so I believe that would take some pressure off of Hardik Pandya in the event that things play out like the previous game
Yeah.
where the top order collapses. So Shivam Dube is an added, a middle order player. He's
Yeah.
going to take some of the pressure off. So maybe Rinku Singh, maybe Shivam Dubey.
Yeah.
Ramandeep could also come in if a pace option is needed. And more than Surya's batting form, I'm concerned about the opening. Does
Mhm.
has Samson done well? Clearly not. Single digits in two matches, scoring at 26 in the first match, and if you see, he is not able to, you know, face players like um, Jofra Archer. So I feel that they clearly know his weakness and they're targeting him towards that. So is Samson doing well? Maybe not. So is the opening partnership really seems questionable?
But we
Can the
don't have a
opening
backup opener anyway,
exactly?
so we can't change it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no opening batsman either.
Yeah.
As far as Surya is concerned, I'd say that he's the captain, so there's multiple things going on around that could be affecting him. But overall, I still trust that Surya is a much better player than anybody else in the side.
Yeah.
Shami was not able to, deliver his fullest.
Mm.
That's the reason I feel an extra pacer might be helpful in the side.
Mm.
Maybe Ramandeep or even Arshdeep.
Yeah.
Uh, I'd probably bring them. So my plan would be choose to bat first in this ground and
Mm.
then spin towards the second half. That would be ideal. Hopefully, we see some big scores.
Yeah.
It's yet another match, no big scores. But
Yeah.
looking at the trend, India might just opt to bowl.
Mm. What do you think, Jinanj?
Like normally they should ball only, but normally they also do whatever we say opposite. Like when they should be batting, they bowl. When they should
Yeah.
be bowling, they bat.
Mm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they choose to bat just
Mm.
to gain in some confidence if they're able to hit some big, if they're able to score really big, then we know that the bowling attack of ours is really good. So we will be able to even defend
Mm.
such a score. So you never know.
Mm.
Furthermore, the current Indian setup, they have a tendency to change the nature of pitches and those
Mm.
things. So we don't know what kind of a pitch is going to be offered in Pune as well. Whether it's going to be the same deck where we choose to field first, like
Yeah.
a slow wicket, and then good batting conditions in the second innings. We don't know whether that is going to replicate as well.
Mm.
Secondly, Rinku Singh is fit and he's ready to play. So I would certainly wish him that he plays so that he can take Dhruv Jurel's place and Washington Sundar can be, he can even come up the order as well like he does.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what value is he going to add, Washington Sundar,
So you
because
still want to play Washington Sundar, or you want to
I don't
replace him
want
with
to
someone
play.
like a
I
Shivam
don't
Dubey?
want him to play. I don't want
Mm.
him to play.
Mm.
But the current, the way the things are going, like the liking for Washington Sundar, so I really see him that he'll be he'll be back for. I mean, he'll be back throughout the
Mm.
T20 series to play in that particular number five, number six,
Yeah.
wherever he plays.
Yeah.
Um, Shivam Dubey, I mean, I would want him to join the squad so you get that extra pacer as well with Hardik Pandya. But
Mm.
again, how you're going to use him,
Mm.
because even we had NKR in the first game, they didn't use him very well.
True.
They didn't, so I don't know whether Shivam Dubey will be taken in as an all-rounding option or as a pure batter. If he's taken
Mm.
in as a pure batter, then he won't be required that in that setup since Washington Sundar is already playing.
True.
Same thing goes with Ramandeep as well. And Surya's batting, I wouldn't say it's a concern. He'll make a comeback. One thing which Weber also pointed out, the things which are going around in the setup, which
Mm.
might, affect his captaincy abilities.
Mm.
So, I mean, I would want him just to forget those things and just focus on mainly his batting, because mainly the captaincy has already been done from the dugout anyway. So I would suggest him to just focus on his batting anyway. So what else?
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, like Shami is really not up to the mark.
Mm.
I'm not sure why he's not getting that consistent. I mean, that 136 at least
Mm.
reaching that speed, but I'm not sure why.
Mm.
Probably he's still not fit.
Mm.
Um, so if he's also not fit, then definitely Siraj would make a comeback
Mm.
in the squad.
Mm.
And yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Vaibhav, you want to add something?
Shivam Dubey, I have no hopes on his bowling. He was, yeah, he was smacked like a noob, when when he bowled.
Yeah.
So definitely not bring him in as a bowler or an
Mm.
all round, you know, as an all rounder. Probably just as a batter. Maybe that finishing role could be given to him.
Yeah.
They'd be saved from the scenario which we were in the previous game. Last four
True.
overs, you've got somebody to go and hit big, score big runs
Mm.
in a short span. That might happen,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, nothing which we discuss. Actually, they always, like how Jinanj mentioned, the opposite always happens.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes tomorrow.
True. Does Arshdeep make a comeback for both of you?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay. Vibhav?
I would definitely want him to make a comeback.
Yeah.
At the cost of Shami, probably yes, I don't mind because we need Shami for other games as well. So
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have the best T20I player in the world, why not use him rather than making him warm the bench? So let's see how the fourth T20I goes. India has not played the best of the cricket, but still have been above England so far. So I hope that we seal the series in this match. But the biggest talking point for yesterday and like 2 days has been Virat Kohli has been back to Delhi, and so has been the Indian media striking it back with some weird news about what he's eating in the breakfast, what he's eating in the lunch. So there was some news going around that he has eating kadhi chawal and paneer chili. There were some long-lasted interviews with the chef of DDCA and what he wants to eat. There were also some weird questions, like the level of questions were like, were there pakoras in his kadhi? This was a question by a journalist. I mean, that's crazy. We were talking about superstar culture and Indian cricket supporting the superstar culture, but is the media just peddling this culture? What do you think about it, Jinansh?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, you see such a big crowd coming around for a Delhi Railways match, a Ranji match, because one particular player, like obviously because of his stature, people will come around to
Mm,
watch. That's no doubt, because he's coming after a long time.
mm,
But at the same time, like I would at least expect the news agencies to cover. I mean, I would not expect them to cover the crowd in certain other matches, but at least I would want them to cover those matches, as per the news kind of a thing.
mm,
I mean, there was a match
mm.
between, I mean, it was last week when they had the first round of
Yeah,
Ranji. I think it was between West Bengal and Haryana. It
yeah,
was at
yeah,
Kalyani, that
yeah.
ground, not in Eden Gardens. It was at Kalyani. So there was just, I mean, and Haryana was so good in playing, like they were
Mm,
so good.
yeah,
None of those matches were covered, to be honest.
mm,
Hari, Railways played against Assam.
yeah,
The bowling attack was so good. Like I forgot his name, Himanshu, who scored 95 today. So he's such a good bowler. He took 4 wickets, and there was another right arm medium who took 5 wickets. None
mm,
of this was covered as well.
yeah,
None of this. So this when these so-called journalists talk a lot about the star culture, they report what Sunil Gavaskar talks about star culture. They report what Irfan Pathan talks about star culture. I
mm.
mean, it is the media who peddles the star culture.
It's Himanshu Sangwan. Yeah,
Himanshu Sangwan, yeah.
yeah.
So he's such a good bowler. Nobody even covered him. It is the media only who
Mm,
peddles the star culture.
mm,
You come around defending why this news was made news. It doesn't really help. Like at one point you say that I don't like these kind of news, but at the same point you yourself, like if you don't like that news, then why do you associate it with sports today? You might be having some, like how Hindustan Times has that HT lifestyle. You
yeah.
might be having those kind of uh,
True. I
departments
agree.
as
I
well
agree. I completely agree with that.
within so associated over there. Like
Mm.
this is not a gossip, like a show which you're handling. And I mean those journalists who were interviewing the cook, I mean those are renowned journalists which we also
Follow.
have drawn
Yeah,
inspiration from them to start
yeah.
something like.
Definitely.
And then you yourself do this. I mean it really, and you yourself even defend those things by saying I really don't like it, but this is what is the news. There are certain people who like it. I mean if certain people like it, they don't, I mean they don't need to follow it on your on your channel which is strictly for sports.
True.
Do it in some other channel, like which, I mean, you normally, I'm pretty sure they might be having certain other channels as well where they would be talking and talking about paneer chili, kadhi chawal. He liked that, he didn't like that. I mean, everyone, even I like kadhi chawal. So I mean, we don't go around and put it on X that I hate kadhi chawal today. I
Yeah.
mean, these things are not news. These things are proper PR for which even Rohit Sharma was rightly accused for.
Yeah.
This is also the same kind of PR which they are doing, but in this
Mm.
time they are certain news journalists are also involved in this. I mean, do take interviews with certain good people in the squad, right? Like you
Yeah.
have like no doubt they you took interviews with Ayush Badoni, who is the captain of the
Yeah.
team. He's a young player, but take interviews with other young
Yeah,
players also.
but the questions for to Ayush Badoni were mostly about Virat Kohli and not about his
Yeah,
game.
that's what. Again,
So
you're talking only about Virat Kohli.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, see, that's what the thing is. Like, it is how it is.
Yeah.
It is the same journalist who keep talking about star culture,
Mm.
but they are the same people who peddle star culture.
Mm.
They are the same ex-cricketers who talk about star culture.
Mm.
So, but they were the same people who even enjoyed that star culture before, and they don't
True.
like it now happening
True. True.
because certain comments were given during some interview, so they don't really like that comments.
Yeah.
So they directly attack your star culture.
Mm.
That same person was jumping when Virat Kohli hit the six,
Yeah.
who talks about star culture. He was jumping,
Yeah.
was talking a lot about Thala for a reason, Thala for a reason.
Yeah.
He was talking in that particular, there was some event where he was talking about Dhoni, Thala for a reason and everything. So
Yeah.
you are also peddling that same star culture. So it's not
True.
like something new. It has been happening from a long time since cricket was there. It became famous in India. It has been happening.
Yeah.
The audience is a little emotional, so obviously star culture will be there.
Yeah.
But there is a thin line between star culture and abusing and everything, which we don't support that as well. Like you go and abuse other players, and
True.
we don't
True.
support that, obviously. But yeah, but star culture is there in the whole Indian cricket setup, right from ex-cricketers, the administration, and even the media is involved in that.
True. Vaibhav, your 2P on this?
There are some things which India wants to know, but these things, I don't know why India wants to know, or if people are interested to know such stuff.
Yep.
And I don't think like media has a responsibility to educate people and not,
Mm.
spread misinformation in most cases,
Mm.
or promote certain sections of the society or people belonging to certain sections of the society, which unfortunately is the way most media outlets in India and probably in other parts of the world also work.
Mm.
So that's something which is really bad.
Mm.
And just like how Jinanj mentioned, certain cricketers, former cricketers, they go out in the media and lash out at the existing cricketers for what
Mm.
they've been doing. But have they done the same thing? Definitely during their prime, they've done all of that. They've enjoyed it the best they can, and they've even ruined few other cricketers' personal lives using that as a trump card. So when you've done such things, why do you want to go and blame another person?
True.
Something which everybody needs to understand, and you can't point fingers. You need to remember that there are other fingers pointing at you as well.
Mm.
So I think that needs to be fixed. But is that is that a personal issue, or is that something which is a societal issue? I feel it's more from the society.
Mm.
If person A does something wrong, the whole society kind of blames person A. But
Mm.
deep down, everybody is doing the same thing. But
Mm.
unfortunately, they just don't realize, because one or two people are often promoted, and when something goes wrong there, we jump in to point fingers. So that is not good, and media has definitely not done anything beneficial, at least in the last 10 to 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite strange to understand because Virat Kohli has played. He's not even batted as yet, but Shardul Thakur has picked up a hat trick, and I seldom see any media outlet or any YouTube channel for that matter talking about Shardul Thakur about his hat trick today, which he picked up. Obviously, we are going to rub it down below the carpet by saying that Meghalaya maybe not as up to the mark as Mumbai's team is, but a hat trick is a hat trick. It's not happening every day, but why not talk about that rather than who's having what kadhi chawal and what paneer chili? I mean,
Exactly.
that's
No,
that's
even
really weird.
exactly. So if you look at, so Ajinkya Rahane has been doing really well over the
Yeah,
last few
scored. He's
weeks.
still
And
batting, and he's batting
yes,
on 80s, I think. Yeah.
yeah, and nobody bothers to talk about him, or
Mm,
even put the information out there that he's done really well.
mm,
Such things can bring about what other players are doing. And mind
mm.
you, he's not retired yet, so he's a
True.
player who can definitely come in to a side like uh, the Test side,
Yeah.
which has been doing really bad. He's a person who can come in and fill in anybody else's shoes
True.
and take over the batting. So such things are not promoted, and some chili paneer or something
Yeah.
extremely trivial is what everybody decides to promote.
Yeah.
Uh,
And if a very good point you put out is like if you don't want to look out to players who are old, as you say, Ajinkya Rahane might be past that age to make a comeback in Indian team. But there are players like Siddesh Lad, who has been who have been scoring runs. They have players like Ayush Matre, for that matter, who have been scoring runs. Today, if you see. Mayank Agarwal, for that matter, has played an immensely good knock of a 91. He missed out on a 100, but yeah, if you're talking about Ranji Trophy making it mandatory to come into the Indian setup, why not talk about the players who are doing well in it? Maybe a Rahane, maybe a Siddesh Lad, maybe a Shams Mulani, maybe Ayush Mahatre, whoever. I know players from Mumbai setup because I follow Mumbai Ranji team more than anyone else. But there are players from any other sides of the states as well. I don't know. What do you think about that, guys? Like Vaibhav, Jinansh, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, the focus should be mainly Rohit Sharma coming back to play his Ranji game,
Mm,
Virat Kohli coming back to play his Ranji game. It
yeah,
is going to garner a lot of attention.
yeah.
Yes, and it should be garnered because a player of these statures are coming out and playing with those people who will get inspired as well to perform better, to excel better, and to eventually make it to the Indian team. So
Mm,
yes, those things are there. But
mm.
the news should not only be focused on the player what he's eating. It should be like if you're
What he's
focusing on the
playing, yeah.
player,
Yeah.
then instead of focusing on what he's eating, focus on some other player. Like
Mm,
you can uh, these kind of news do not sell. Like how much ever they'll try to explain us, like they'll try to defend
mm,
that this is what is, you don't like it, then you don't. Arey, what is this if I don't like it?
yeah.
This is the kind of news are you going to say that you have done your journalism for? I mean, then you can become like those social media aggregators also who do those kind of things. They are also doing the same thing.
Yeah,
10, 12 standard
and
people they
and we
are.
had an impression that these things used to happen on television media, but now even the YouTube media is going
Yes, it
berserk
is.
about this.
Yes. Yes, both. Yes, even one of the legacy YouTube medias who the anchor or the journalist who I'm talking about, like who was banned also briefly,
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
he didn't do that. It was just one day prior. He was talking
Mm,
about this that we don't like talking about these kind of things.
mm,
In one of his associate Hindi channel, this news was broken.
yeah, yeah.
One of his associate Hindi channels. I mean,
Mm,
even on X, that particular journalist, that Hindi journalist had to be told that now stop it.
mm,
Stop talking about whatever he's having, kadhi chawal, this, pakoda, whatever.
mm, mm. Sorry
Chole,
to.
he didn't want chole, he didn't want chole sabji. See, this much
Mm,
also I know. There was
yeah,
no
yeah,
chole. Sorry, there
yeah,
was no chole, there was puri sabji.
yeah,
He didn't
yeah,
want puri sabji, but he
yeah.
opted for kadhi chawal.
Even the questions were like, did you make chili paneer or did you add tofu to it because Virat Kohli is
Yeah, Virat Kohli doesn't like
freak,
that. Arre.
fitness freak and all that. I mean, we are reaching to the end of the episode. Like 5 minutes are left. Weber, you want to add something?
no, it's not like there's just one person. There's just one
Mm,
Virat Kohli in the whole nation. There's like billions
true.
of us. There's
Mm,
so many things happening in India. It's not
mm,
like it's not a small nation, and I think the Indian media needs to realign itself and find its purpose rather than going behind superstars
mm.
and seeing what they're eating. Probably they might even go and find out timings when they visited the toilet for a break or something. That's the rate at
It's
which it's
crazy.
going. And they like, the media is ready to go and point fingers at people that have failed. So
mm,
KL Rahul didn't perform, they go and point that out. But
mm,
when there are over to over 300 or 300 odd players
mm,
in the Ranji side,
mm,
youngsters who've been doing so well.
mm.
There are also former Indian team players who have been doing really well, and
Mm,
nobody bothers about these players.
true.
Come IPL, and all these young players are promoted, but
Mm.
few months ahead of IPL, they care a hoot about any of them.
So yeah, this circus is going to continue today as well because while we speak, the legend or the star, as they say, is batting for Delhi. So let's see if the media improves or not. But we are going to be talking about real cricket. As we talk about that, we have come to this end of this chatter. I hope you liked it, guys. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe the video. Do chime in with your comments of what would you like us to improve on, and please subscribe the channel as the analytics says that most of you are not subscribing it. So please subscribe the channel, and we'll see you after the match tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.